It's the Mere Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. It really means a lot. As we do, before we get started, we just want to show our gratitude and our appreciation. You guys could be somewhere else on a Saturday evening, but you guys are with us, with me and Kala Thanos. So we greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com, go to dynastymir.com and sign up, subscribe to the email list so you guys can stay updated on what's going on with Dynasty Mir. Make sure you go to Amazon.com, buy a book. Please support and buy a book. Go to Amazon.com. Just type in my name, Dynasty Mir, and my books will show up. I greatly appreciate it. Then also too, Mansa, bring your shirt in here, the green one. Come on, Mansa. Okay, just throw it. Just throw it. Thank you. So, guys, make sure you go to Teespring, okay? Or also at the bottom of the videos that you guys are watching, my clothing line, Ile Amir, which means House of Amir, Ile Amir, which is translated from Yoruba to English, House of Amir. I have my clothes. So this is my son's shirt. So this is available in kids, women, and for men. This is the Prince of Otoruo, Nigeria shirt. So, guys, go support. I greatly appreciate it. Again, go support. Check out all the shirts we have, and buy a shirt, you guys. So, we want to thank Kala Thanos for joining us. Also, too, guys, make sure you Cash App, Super Chat. Donate to the church. Donate to the church, you guys, so we can keep this thing going. You guys got to pay your tithes, all right? A lot of you guys, yeah, a lot of you guys, yeah, exactly. Pass the collection plate around. You guys haven't been paying your tithes. Some of y'all late on your tithes, so go ahead and get that in. So we have my brother Kala Thanos on today, and today's topic is who has the right to police Black Americans in Africa? Who has that right? And this is how I feel about the situation. If you put up your own dough to transition to Africa, who has the right to police you? Me personally, I think everybody is entitled to their opinion. I've been a huge advocate of that, unless you're talking reckless. Now, we're not always going to agree on everything. We're not. But we all agree on Africa being first and that we have the best interest of heart of Africans. Now, me personally, I have observed and witnessed some stuff in Africa that pissed me off, quite frankly. Guys, please forgive my language. That pissed me off, that made me angry. And I've voiced my opinion on here several times. You guys have heard it. But at the end of the day, I think people need to hear differing opinions when it comes to relocating with Africa, when it comes to repatriating. We're going to have a difference of opinion. We could all talk about it, debate about it. But at the end of the day, we are all on the same page. That's where we're at. So I guess Sister Art Kathy made some remarks that people didn't disagree with. Like, what's the situation, Colin?
The situation is this, right? First of all, right, when I first got the video, right, I thought she was like, when I saw the title of her video, that's the whole thing. People that are reacting on this are reacting on bits and pieces of what she said, right? And to be honest with you, right, when I first saw the title of her video, right, I was judging her, right, the same way people are right now. I was like, she said, are the Black Americans the new colonizers in Africa, right? And the reason why she said that, right, I knew this was going to happen, right? Because remember a couple months back, I made a comment to Dr. Mumby. I said, please, ma'am, don't ever use that word colonizer when talking to Black America. Don't call us Africans, right? And then say, well, don't even jokingly that, oh yeah, just don't be a colonizer. How can the hell we colonize the continent that we're from? If you say we're from,
Exactly.
You know, if we're investing,
But Kyle, you know where this comes from? It comes from the misunderstanding from Liberia. That's where all this comes from.
yeah, Mr. Just like I said, and then everybody,
Liberia was the greatest accomplishment that Black Americans have right now.
right.
Liberia.
No other. We built the republic that still
Mhm.
stands. You know, you could talk all you want, right? It took Europe, Rome, hundreds of years to become a republic, right? People don't even know what that means. You know, an organized republic. People living under a set of laws, you know, and common customs. Under a republic, they don't last. It takes everything inside of a people, soul, heart, and everything, and culture, right, and civilization to maintain a republic. And our ancestors were able to do that right out of slavery for 133 years until the 1980 coup. So therefore, they also, oh, Liberia. They don't even study the history of Liberia. They don't know what happened over there. All they do is read quotes mostly from white people who want to discredit Liberia because they want to tell your mind that black people never could build anything. Liberia, let's see, I'm gonna get back to Sister Connie, right? Let me see. Well, I got this on my mind. Liberia was populated by the best Black America ever. The most educated Black people went to Liberia and built, right? America was founded by the very worst of Europeans. You see what that is?
Right.
America had a civil war that took 600,000 lives. Liberia's never had a civil war. It had peace all the way up until 1930 to 1980, and also it was recognized around the world as a republic, as one of the leading republics of the world. That's not some small accomplishment, you know? So people always say, oh, Liberia's a failure. They don't even bother knowing the history of the country, how they build railways, how they build factories, how they do all this, how they sent their kids all over the world, and it was coming back to Liberia to build and everything, how they integrate the natives and the settler class, the American, so-called American, which there was never any such group called American Liberians. That's another thing. Never such people called themselves American. That was a label put on them by the West, right? How did these people come together under form one culture, which everybody knew, ate the same foods, spoke the same languages, and they basically integrated and assimilated. That's something the Europeans said that could never happen in Africa. They said, look at Nigeria, they're always fighting and everything like that. They said, look at Liberia. You had statesmen that were from indigenous background sitting right next to statesmen that were of slave descendants. We're not all in one country. You know, that was never supposed to happen. You know, they try to make Liberia out to be like South Africa. Well, the whites in South Africa and the blacks never married with each other. They never assimilated with each other. The whites were above them as a class. There was never a class of people called American Liberians. So therefore, when people take that shot, right, with the Black Americans in Africa, oh, don't do another Liberia. You know, these ignorant people never actually came and read the country. Once you read the country, you know, and study it like I did, okay, because I used to think like that before I actually studied the country.
I did too. I did too.
I read the country, that it was nothing like what people say. Oh, this will be another Liberia. They throw that out there. So she was basically saying, oh, just don't come as colonizers. She goes, I don't know if she was responding to Dr. Mumby. I don't know if she was basically responding to somebody else. But there's a lot of slick comments towards African Americans, right? And then she seems the type that if you're gonna say something slick, she's gonna check you. You know, she said, let's stop this right here. You calling how dare you even use that word colonize, right? While you're allowing the Chinese, the Lebanese, all these people, Indians, abuse African women in the game. She watches every day. She said in a video, she said this one African woman was walking, and some Indian guy was just hitting her in the back of the head. And she goes, she asked him, "Do you know him? Do y'all know each other?" "Oh no, it's all right." And she said, "Why do you let them abuse you like that?" And she told the other story about this white man, this old white devil, had a friggin' a little baby girl in her possession. And then some guy said, "Oh, that's my niece." And then she was trying to find out, and then an altercation happened, right? And she basically, what it is this: she's bringing light to what's going on in Gambia. There's powerful forces in Gambia, non-black and black, wherever like that. It's sad where they're like, "Yo, look, if you're gonna bring light to the sex trade in Gambia, that's our main bread and butter." So she's saying, well, we can bring our people from Atlanta and everything, make this a paradise. Well, we don't need to do that, right? Instead of people gravitating towards that and saying, okay, I understand her tone and everything, but the gist of what she was saying was, we don't need these people, and we can protect our people. And she talked about how the African Americans that live in Gambia, right, pay more than the Chinese and everybody else, 3 times more, right, with the normal wages, right? That's our value system. We're not gonna let our
Mhm.
people go hungry, just to make a profit. But these Lebanese and everybody else pay the locals nothing, And so therefore they're
All right.
saying so therefore instead of gathering, say, so she got a point. Let's build on that. Right? They're gonna nitpick her attitude and she said this when that. They take 3 words and make that what she was talking about. That's not what she was talking about. So the bigger question to ask is, who is behind this hit piece? And then what gets me is, well, whoever it is, you failed, because she got like 4,000 subscribers, right? And all the support. People say, keep up what you're doing, right? Because black people, see, the whole thing is, before this all blew up, this is what a lot of us were thinking. Why is it that we go there and we can't say anything? We're investing in the country. We can't.
I think the issue is, Kala, is we're supposed to, because this I think this is the attitude. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. And people correct me if I'm wrong. In about 25, 30 minutes, we're gonna open up the lines. Since a lot of us are getting George Floyd, knees to neck and getting killed, we're supposed to just be happy to be out of America and be in Africa and show up with a bunch of Marcus Garvey books and Kwame Nkrumah books and just be happy and
Just be
live on
happy.
the
It
land.
don't work like that. I'm sorry, it don't work like that.
I mean, that's just like the impression, the attitude I get.
And people are going to be sadly mistaken. It's going to take more than that to bring people to the continent. People want to know, okay, what about citizenship? What about my kids' education? What about healthcare? You know what I'm saying? What about all these things, right? Like, can I hold office? Can I do this? Do I have civil rights issues and stuff like that? There's a lot of human rights abuses on the continent. Let's not carry about that. I was watching a video the other day from Angola sent to by one of my Angolan partners, right? They were showing the police abusing and bullying and beating this man just humiliate him, making him beg for it and whipping him and beating him his feet and smashing his toes. He's crying. This man's crying in anger and agony. And several other people sent me videos. They said, you want to see what African police do? Police treat the people, if they're poor, like they're nothing. And people basically resign the fact that if you're not rich, or if you're not a big man or on the continent, a big woman on the continent, you don't get basic human rights. So the whole thing is this: people need to understand. Okay, when you go to the continent, right? And you say you want to assimilate. That's one of the things you got to look out for. Okay, yeah, you become one of the locals. Or you think you're going to get treated any better because you're African American or whatever? So that's a question we have to ask. What is the thing? Like just the other day, a whole bunch of people that in Ghana was doing Black Lives Matter and they got arrested. And for doing Black Lives Matter in Ghana, the police said came in and arrested all the protesters. So
Mhm.
this is what we're talking about. Remember a year ago, President Atu would want the U.S. to build a base in Ghana. Remember that?
All right.
You know what I found out?
What happened?
Guess what? They built the base anyway.
I didn't know. Are you sure?
Yes, I just got word, from a Ghanaian. Said, yeah, they built the base anyway, and they're covering it up. They're making it like it's part of something.
Get the facts on that, Kala. Like,
Okay, I
like
will.
where I need to see pictures. I need to see
Yeah,
something. I need
and
the facts
also
on
I
that.
had one of our people that's over there saying that they part of the beach when you can't go to no more because they're building something. Then I said I didn't know what that was, right? And they said, yeah, they're building some big huge facility where you don't have access to the beach in this one spot, right? And then they said they actually went ahead with that, but it's quiet. It's
Hold on,
underneath.
one second. Crypto Black. I agree with Kala and at Kala and Search for Who. When we come to Africa, we want to thrive as well. All that spiritual stuff is cool, but we want to thrive like others do when they come. Absolutely. Yes, that's where we're at. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Dynast, you can't do that, man. Dynast, you got to go get your hut. You got to go get your solar panel, and you got to basically live on $100 a month. You have no. Wait a minute, shoot, $100 a month. You got to live on $200 a year. Dynast. And
Right.
because you got to fit in. So in other words, basically, how can anybody look and see that the fact that the Lebanese and all these francophone allied people from Vietnam are dying? What the hell does Vietnam got to do with West Africa? They're supplying the fish, the rice, all this stuff like that. And at least Nigeria is getting to the point now that I don't know if you know about this. They're starting to produce its own rice. And Nigeria is basically cutting the Vietnamese out. And
Yeah.
saying, look, because you understand something, Vietnam, we used to be French Indochina. They're part of Francophone thing, and Africa is just a huge dumping ground for everybody else. So these once people that we used to be behind Africa now
Right.
saying, so we got a race of people that we could be superior to, and we're going to be the new colonizers. You want to talk about colonizers? Why don't you talk about the freaking Vietnamese and all these little Reagan people that's doing? Why are you going to talk about an African American sister, right, who could be anywhere, right, but chose to be in her motherland, and you want to sit there and throw shots at her? I'm sick of this crap, man. People just all it is just pettiness and envy. I never hear any of these people talk about the abuse of African women by the Lebanese. I never hear about the Vietnamese, the Chinese, and all these other people doing illegal business in Africa. Chinese, they can't get it. They can't. Chinese like an infestation. Every time they shut down an illegal mining operation in Ghana, another one, Chinese mining operation, another one pops up. And they're basically making Africa, all these countries that were once colonized themselves in
Right.
Asia, the rest of the world, are coming in and staking out a claim to Africa. I did a show. My show Wednesday night was called Africa, the Motherland or the Mother Whore.
Okay.
And
Oh, wow.
People are like, whoa, Carl, it's a royal. Yeah, I'm just saying like it is. I'm saying like this: our mother ancestral homeland. People better start putting some respect on that name, and you better have some fear in your voice, your heart when you talk about that. And you got people, oh yeah, Africa, like you could just a place you could just right. It's like that chick that back in the days we used to call a jump off, a skeezer.
Yeah.
You give them. That's how Africa is being treated by the rest of the world. Here we coming in with our heart, right? Our heart, African American, investing, employing people, trying to get things off the ground. And for like she was saying, she said the audacity for someone to even throw a comment like "Don't be a colonizer" and come some shit like that. That's why she was a little angry in her video. How dare she was
See,
talking
you know what, Colin, this is where we're at now. I'm gonna be honest. I see. This is why I love Nigeria, because a lot of the stuff you see, right, in these other countries, you don't see in Nigeria.
Yeah, you
I
told me.
love it. Same thing with Senegal.
Right.
Senegal, Nigeria. Out of all the African countries I've been to, they control their economy.
Yeah.
And certain stuff is not going to be tolerated.
Yeah, you see Nigerians are very energetic people. You know what I'm saying? They're about the smartest, probably the smartest black people on the planet. No offense to my African American. I know we're probably the most accomplished, but Nigerians are freaking strong. They're thrivers, and so therefore they basically go into enterprise. It's a shame that they don't have a government that backs them. But for example, I was told that Dangote, Aliko Dangote Corporation makes tomato paste and tomato ketchup and everything.
Right.
But the thing is, I heard they had to import tomatoes from Italy because there was a system in place to give Nigerian farmers loans to grow tomatoes. So it's a win-win situation. You give the farmer loans and you buy his tomatoes from you, the excess, So therefore, so like that, I hope that situation can be changed in the future, where you have Nigerian farmers who want to grow, have a buyer ready, already waiting to buy their tomatoes from them, So therefore, like I said, at least Nigeria does have, all Nigeria have to do is get its political situation in order, and it's going to be a powerhouse. I know that. But the problem is, like I said, this sister Art Carthy was talking about Gambia. Her heart's in Gambia. Now she could at any time go over to Nigeria.
Here we go. Okay, let me say, hold on, stop the show. Art, Kathy, this message is for you. If you are not welcome in Gambia, if you have any issues, we would love you. We would love to have you in Nigeria, in Osun State, in Otoruo. We would love to have you. I need our Kathy. That's what we need.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
So if you're not welcome in Gambia, please come to Nigeria. Come. We want you. We need you. We need you to create opportunities. You will be much appreciated. Come.
Yeah. You got to go where you're appreciated. People could go to just 54 countries on the continent, And so the bottom line is this: if one country's not acting right, pick another one. Nobody is bound to you got to act this way. You got to act this way. You're coming with your own money, your own capital, your own investment. Let me tell you something, right? I always said like this, when I was a kid, I always dreamed that what I dreamed about was a continent, a country of my own, where anybody could be what they want to be, right? Somebody might want to be an anime writer, right? And be
Right.
be a filmmaker, right?
Right.
That's what he wants to do. Okay, that's their contribute to the civilization. They want to be a filmmaker. They want to write. They want to be a playwright. They want to be a musician. Everything, right? That's what you want to do. Somebody wants to be an entertainment mogul, right? And say like this, or amusement park. Somebody wants to be the next Disney, or Six Flags and whatnot. Say, yeah, we want to build this. That's their vision. That's their dream. Somebody wants to be a restaurateur. Somebody wants to be a hotel magnate. You know what I'm saying? A real estate magnate. Someone wants to be an industrialist. Not everybody's going to go over there and do the same thing. That's what freedom and liberty is all about. You do pick out what you want to get into, and you do it. My friend Mark Blanton right now in South Africa is thriving, with his tourism business. I don't know. Well, I think the tourism hold up, but he's doing many different things in South Africa. Him and his wife gave up her medical practice to relocate to South Africa. They're on South African television and everything. That was a dream. That was interpreted according to some of these people. No, I heard the word parasitic capitalist, Zion. You can't bring that Western mindset and that parasitic capitalist to Africa and whatnot, So if we
Hold on,
don't,
let me address something. Okay, our Kathy's delivery might have been kind of off, but
yeah,
we need our Kathy's. Again, her delivery might have been kind of off. Okay, that's something that could be corrected and shifted. But again, who am I to tell our Carthy? Again, you can give recommendations, but who am I to say, okay, you need to change how your tone. You can change your tone. When she put up her own dough, her and her husband, to build in Gambia. Now we could, hey, Art, I agree. Where do you just,
she
maybe.
said that. She said that. She said, look, her last video said, look, if you didn't like that, you're offended. There's always my inbox, right? You can email me. You can talk like that. Why is it black people feel they got to act like niggas all the time? The people that was commenting the most didn't even see the video that she was talking about. She was basically rebuking people who were basically subliminal, like dog whistles. People, I think a lot of people don't understand the science of dog whistles. When you say stuff like that, like even in joking, colonizers and everything, it's the same thing to how Liberia felt. It wasn't a bunch of loud talk. It was whispers. It was deadly whispers. People saying stuff, snickered in the back. Oh yeah, this, that, the other thing. And then those whispers, right? They're little tiny little whispers, are like little tiny little chisels, right? And they could nail and pick at a support system, right? And eventually the whole thing will collapse, So therefore, she was basically saying, well, wait a minute here. I know my heart, right? I know what I'm here for. I love this country. I love the people and everything. And this is what I see wrong, right? And she was talking about the so-called those Negro peons in Gambia who basically and also those dumb niggas who are expats living in Europe right now, right? If you don't like what she's doing, why don't you get your ass back to the continent, right? And you invest in something. I mean, sick and tired of these so-called African expats living in Australia, calling in from Siberia, you know what I'm saying? Calling in from Austria. They're every place but their black ass on the goddamn continent, right? And doing something, right? And then when you got this African-American sister from Atlanta, she's building something, right? She's maybe strong, hard, like that. If you don't like what she's doing, you go out, you go back to your country, you go back to the continent, and you build something. But till then, you shut the hell up.
God, let me say this. What does she call? Like, what language does she use? Like, what does she call the Gambians?
She didn't make any derogatory remarks. She said, the people in Gambia are kind of slow. That's what she said, But let me give you an example, right? And when I was growing up in New York, we used to say the same thing about people from down south. Oh, the down south people kind of slow, But I guess she got too comfortable. And yeah, she's like, oh, I'm at home, so I can basically say this way. She says things about African Americans backhanded. Yeah, brothers that do this, whatever, like that. That's how black people talk. Look at Paris Milan. They spend a whole time bashing African American men, right? We just sit back and take it. You got some parts of the manosphere who are go back and forth with black women. But if we weren't a people, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. So people feel comfortable saying things and everything, but in the end, we're one people, And so therefore, they made it seem like she was some alien from outer space coming there to put her foot on the Gambian's neck, and like, it was not like that. We say things back and forth to each other and whatnot. Sometimes, like people say shit about me all the time. You know, I don't take it personally and be like that. I know that people have their opinion about me. You know, and so basically that's what it is. You know. You know, so it's like which one? All right, you people in the chat room, don't start your shit, you know. But that's what it is. And I said like this when I first saw her, right? Saw the video, right? I just was I thought she was calling black people that invest in Africa colonized, right? And she was basically addressing the fact that we're being perceived as colonized by people who don't want us there. These same people have nothing to say about the Russians who have sex trade. Do you understand what this is? A 13, 11-year-old girl child, right, should have an innocence. If you basically don't, if that doesn't anger you, that she saw a 3-year-old girl with some white devil, and who knows what he was going to do and everything, and they got an altercation. First thing some of you Negroes should have been was, oh, you had a beef, Sister Kathy, you had a beef. Let me go over to the Gambia. I'm right over here, Senegal. I'm right over here, Sierra Leone. Let's let's handle this shit, you know. The Gambian brothers, where are y'all at, you know? What she said a little girl was about to be taken and could have been killed by some old white man, and the only thing you gonna talk about is some harsh words. You bunch of soft ass niggas, man. You know, I swear to God, you know. So therefore, that's what it is, you know. And the bottom line is this: no one has a right to police nobody on the continent. You know, we critique each other, but nobody will tell somebody, "Oh, you can't come if you think this way." Yeah, people will come if you're gonna come with your money and everything like that, you know, and you're making your own connections and everything, and you didn't help them get that thing settled. You have no right to tell somebody how their African experience is going to be. Everyone's different. You know, she's looking at maybe we could create like our own entertainment place, you know. It could be like a Las Vegas. It could be like a Dubai, whatever, you know, where people are coming on their honeymoon and stuff like that. And I'll put millions of dollars into the Gambian economy, and we could partner with locals. That's her vision. I saw her vision, and I was like, wow, why would somebody be against that, you know? And so that's basically what it is, you know. You know, so that's what it is. Yeah, she called Black American fat with high blood pressure, nasty attitudes. So what? Yeah, she took shots. She said like she talked about why you coming to Africa wearing weaves, and I was like, okay, that's a personal opinion and everything, but I think that's what a thing. Oh, so I can't says, Carly, you're lying. I'm not gonna hate on her, but you're lying that she didn't say anything derogatory. Yeah, she did. She said there's African Americans, a lot of obese. She said, come to Africa, lose that weight. She said about weaves. She talked about the Gambian women bleaching their skin. She said, why you got that bleach, uneven skin tone and everything? Check this out. When you're on social media all the time, right? You know, and like I said, if I was on social media, the reason why I don't do a YouTube channel, right? I just do a radio show, and I do Dynast Show, and I have a social network that I manage, and I'm on Facebook, you know, and on Twitter. That's it. You know, the reason why I don't go do live streams all the time, because I talk to Dynast. Dynast hears what I say, what I be thinking sometimes, right? You know, if I was every time that I looked up and I had something on my mind, and I put that YouTube channel on, right, somebody would come and try to assassinate me, you know? Because I think some things, you know, and people, that's what people do. I got this on my mind, so let me say this, right? And they say a fool uttereth all his mind, you know? And so you're supposed to be measured when you speak, and this is what I want to say or I want to deliver. I can't do that if every time I look around, I got a mic in my face and a camera in my face, and I'm just, this is what I'm saying, you know, because I know I'm going to offend people.
My sister Susan, this is the problem, my sister Susan. This is the problem. Okay, I don't agree with everything Kathy said. But the comment she wants a tire thrown around her neck, she needs to sit down somewhere. Okay, the day I see Africans threaten non-Africans who say worse things about them in their own country with the tire around their neck, that's when I'll, take them serious. But I've been, like when I was in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, The Indians in Zanzibar were talking so greasy about the Africans in front of the Africans. Now, one time did I hear them threaten any of them with a tire around the neck?
Nope.
Same thing with Lebanese. Same thing with white people. See, that's the problem. Now, okay, so we don't agree with Art Kathy said about the Africans. Okay. Okay. But then when we start saying, oh, this needs to be done, she needs to be careful, this or that, why aren't non-Africans given the same disclaimer? That's the problem I have.
Yeah. Also, Dynast, check this
Yeah,
out.
not Africans aren't given whites, Lebanese, Indians, Chinese. They're not given the same disclaimer, really. I mean, look, you got to think about it. Chinese will set up a restaurant in Africa and they tell Africans they can't come in.
You're foreigners.
You're foreigners.
In Zambia, they called the one African brother, Zambian brother, a foreigner in his own country. They got their own club in Kenya. They were basically excluding black people after a certain time of the night. You know, in their own country, openly on television, I hate you. You guys are monkey people. One guy they deported. You're monkey people. You know, you're stupid. You smell bad. You know, saying all this stuff. Chinese insult Africans all the time. There's a picture going around where a Chinese man had a bunch of underage African girls with his hands on their breasts.
Right.
You know?
I've seen that.
You know, but the bottom line, and also I saw this one video, right, where it took 20 friggin' Ugandan police to arrest two little tiny Chinese.
And then you got the video in Uganda where the white missionary slaps the African.
And also, yeah, and this is there trying to hold the African back.
And then your boy Frank was talking about, yeah, man, he couldn't hit the white guy back because he couldn't defend himself. He might lose his job.
Yeah, that's what you have. You saw that one thing in South Africa where that white guy smacked the Nigerian guy. You saw what that Nigerian dude did.
Yeah. No, I don't think the white guy even touched the Nigerian. He put the Nigerian, put him in.
He knocked him out. And you see that weak ass South African trying to friggin' pull the Nigerian off. You know, the dude started it. The Nigerian said, "What did you say?" Bop, 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 bop. You know. And like I said, they understand that, you know, there's some Africans you can push around. That's what they think. These people have no respect for the continent. They don't respect your women. They don't respect anything. But you want to talk about this sister, what she said. Man, all you fake ass niggas, get out of my face, you know? You know? So like I said, man, these people, like I said, all these fake ass Negroes, and when I got nothing to say about the white man, got nothing to say about the Chinese and everything.
Hold on. Monifa, in fact, Kali, he brought this up. Hold on. In fact, shout out to Monifa. She brought this up. Hell, the Lebanese, Asians, and white people excluded Gambians from hospitality associations in the Gambia.
Yeah. That's what Art Kathy brought up. She was who brought that to my attention. You know, Art Kathy brought that to my attention. They have one hotel owner in the association as a front, right? But the whole idea is, see, this is not just Gambia, right? They know Gambia is weak because of the coup. Genève left with $1 billion. The model they're creating in Gambia, right? Like, we have one idea how we want to see Africa, right? These people have another plan, right? As a place where they could do illegal. There was just recently a Frenchman. It takes French courts, right, to indict this French billionaire, right, who basically things that Africans should be doing themselves. The logistics, you know, the shipping, the transport, a logistics magnet, right, in West Africa. They found out he was bribing officials to get contracts, right, and they're putting him on trial in France. This guy's a billionaire, right? And the question I'm asking is, where are the Malian, the Senegalese logistics people, you know, that control shipping and trucking and all the stuff like that? These are operations that the Asians and the Latinos in their country have learned to do. This is vital. This is how you control your supply chain. You don't let anybody come in your country, your land, and control the internal operations of your country. You know, you're vulnerable, you know? So these French companies, this French guy was doing this, right? And they're doing the same thing. So basically, Africa is a place for European, Lebanese, Chinese, and all these other flunkies, right? These are people that can't compete in their own countries, right? So they go to Africa and they basically set up shop, right? And basically, those type of people that go to Africa are no match for African Americans as far as business. They know that. When we go to Africa, people we send in Africa are the top notch. You know, people that could do them in business. People that basically sell Africans, no, you don't have to do that. You know, this, that, and the other thing, you know? It happened a few years ago in the Ghana oil industry, you know? several African Americans involved in the exchange of things. Sometimes you need that, you know. Sometimes, like I said, the black African Americans, you know, we don't have that same attachment to the French crown or the British crown, stuff like that. You know, we see things from a black nationalist point of view all the time. You know, and a lot of other people, like even the president of Ghana, these guys say, "Oh, I want more closer relationship with France." You know, they're still playing these colonial games. You can't talk about neo-colonialism and inviting the same people back in your country to freaking colonize you economically again and exploit your women and children. You know, so let's stop the BS.
All right,
Let's
real
talk
quick,
about that.
guys, we're gonna open up the lines. If you want to call in, Uhuru at search for Uhuru is the email. Again, Uhuru at search for Uhuru is the email. Send me an email and I will send you the link. Susan, you love, I know I love you. You're my sister, Susan. But I trust me, Susan. Like the amount of countries I've been to in Africa and the amount of just Negro African coonery I have witnessed, I kind of understand why Art Kathy said the way she's, you know, why she did what she did. I get it. Cause trust me, I've been there. It will drive you up a wall. It will drive you up a wall. So, in fact, guys, I never told this story, but I'm gonna tell you this story. So I don't want to share the story.
No, share a story, Dice.
All right. So I was in Benin Republic. I don't want to share it.
Why?
No, okay. I was in Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival in Alada, and I had to put my hands on a European. Guess who they were trying to arrest? Me or the European? Exactly. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. Now the European got in my face. I had to put my hands on them. They were trying to arrest me. And they were to the European tourists. Oh, are you okay? Is it okay? Are you okay? Or is it okay? So again, I get it.
Check this out. You should see that video where the Chinese had a illegal business in Uganda, right? But instead of friggin' the Ugandans going there, had the authority of the police, right? They had police power and everything. The Chinese were resisting arrest, right? Smacking the cops and everything. And every time the one cop was ready to grab the guy, they said, "Oh no, you handled him too rough or whatnot." The Chinese sitting there swinging on them, kicking in the thing. It took 20 of them to put the Chinese in a friggin' patrol car, you know. And I'm like, yo, you go into their countries, right? As a black person, look what's going on with the Chinese in kicking people out of their apartments for doing nothing because of coronavirus.
Guys, I'm dead serious. Like I'm telling you, like I had to put my hands on them. And the police, they were just, oh, is he okay? They were trying to lock me up, but my boys, like, still firm, like, no, you're not touching Dinah. You're not touching Dinah. So nothing happened.
That's sad.
But
sad.
but so that's why I understand what Art Carthay is going through. That's why I'm saying, people, if you don't want, I'm telling you guys, I've been all over West Africa. I've been all over East Africa, just about. If you don't want to see the Africanism and the Afri-coonery that we're talking about, you need to go to Senegal or Nigeria. That's where you need to go. Because I'm telling you, this stuff will drive you up a wall. That's what I'm saying. If you don't want to see it, you need to go to Senegal or you need to come to Nigeria.
Right.
That's what you need to do. Because other countries, you will see it. It will drive you crazy.
Right.
And then you like Art Kathay said. That's why I understand. I might not agree with the delivery, but I understand where she's coming from, and we got to stop being disingenuous and act like she doesn't have a point.
Yeah, and also
I've had run-ins. All right, like I said, Nigeria and Senegal have been the two countries, the only two, and Sierra Leone. And we'll throw in Liberia, but Nigeria and Senegal, because I've been there again, I've been going there consistently now. All right, those are the only two countries that I have not seen the brainwashing and just I have not seen the Afri-peanism and Afri-coonery in those two countries.
Mm-hmm. And good thing about like yeah, I have a lot of Liberian friends, a lot of Liberians, indigenous Americans, mostly indigenous Liberians when I listen to me and stuff like that, and I have social networks and everything. And basically they're taking our attitude towards back to Liberia when I because several of my friends say they got into altercations with Lebanese, right? In Liberia. They go back on vacation and they're like, yo, you can't be doing that to young girls or a Lebanese guy mistreat Liberian children and stuff like that, or stuff like that. So one good thing that came out, Diane, I don't know if we ever said this, right? Because of the show, remember I introduced you to the Honorable Miss Janine Cooper, and
Right.
that video that you did, right? The interview you did with her, right, got the attention of the Liberian government people.
You really think so, Colin?
Yes, I know. That's why I said, Dynas, you got to interview her, right? And basically, that's when she got the call, and they said she asked to be vet of. Now she's now the Minister of Agriculture, Liberia, right? Years of working in the UN, years of stuff like that. All these years, she's a top person. Now Liberia, get this, folks, we're gonna have Liberian rice on the American market pretty soon. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like instead of all these Lebanese and everything importing rice, Liberia is going to be self-sufficient in rice production, right, and have enough to export brand Liberian products, right? That couldn't have happened if it wasn't for Dynas Amir when he was in Liberia and he interviewed Jeanine Cooper.
I can't take credit for that.
Dynas, man, you're too modest, bro. That's what did it, bro. That's what broke it. You know, because they came to her and said, "Look, you know, we heard about you." They said she did her story, you know, because and the fact that she's a so-called American Liberian, she had a tough way to go. Oh, George Weah is hiring the Congo people. They looked at it. She was like, she's the best person qualified to get the Liberian thing. So, like I said, people say about George Weah. I support George Weah right now. Why? Because that's who the people voted for, right? And all you Liberians sitting back, you know, taking shots and everything like that, you're gonna have to deal with him, right? And he made the right decision. He's bringing people into his government that have skills. He don't care about their background, you know. So we give George Weah props for that, you know. And these people, oh, we got an indigenous government and everything. And George Weah is looking for the people that got skills, you know. And Janine Cooper, you know, and she basically she's completely rearranging the way they procure tractors, everything, you know. And it's just amazing what's going on, you know. And like I said, these platforms have a lot of power and have a lot of influence, and people listen to them, you know. And so the bottom line, our sister, our Kathy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's people there who do not like her message. Let's talk about that. Now, who stands to gain if she packs up out of Gambia and leaves? Who stands to gain? You're always looking at
Oh no,
every time you
who
look at
stands against the non-Africans in Gambia?
of course, you know, why? So in other words, if all you people hating her, right? Do you want her to come back to the land just to forget about it and go? You know, if that's what you want, then I think you're on the wrong platform. You know, because that's not what we're about. You know, so therefore, no, I don't live there. But as soon as I get my passport, I'm going to the continent. If everybody keeps asking me, passport held up by the state. I checked on it yesterday. It's still processing. They say they're not back to full capacity yet because the government building's still closed down. As soon as the passport is, get my passport, I will say, I get my passport, I get my visa, and buy my plane ticket. I'm gone. You know, simple as that. I haven't changed plans or nothing like that, and I'll probably be back again. You know, probably back in early January to the continent again. So I'm going to be a frequent person on the continent. So all this, Colin's been to the continent. You're going to be able to shut that shit's going to be dead really soon. You know, so laugh now, but see who laugh. What was that? He who laughs best. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole thing. So what? Nobody wants to call in. Where are all
Yeah, if you
these?
guys want to call in, Uhuru
Where
as
are all these
search.
people? Where are all these people that big mouths and whatnot talk about? Oh, this that the other thing. Why don't you come on the line and explain to us why you friggin' like that? Okay, what? Oh, okay, Susan, come on the line. Tell us what you hate about her so much. You know, what is
No,
it
no, no,
about
no.
her?
Susan doesn't hate. Susan just disagrees.
Okay,
That's Carla. That's my
you know,
sister.
check this out,
Carla.
Dinus.
That's my future sister-in-law. That's in
Oh,
fact
okay,
that is
okay.
my sister-in-law.
Let me
That's
stop.
my future
Let me stop.
sister-in-law.
Oh, let me
Well,
stop.
she's I'm a claimant. She's my sister-in-law.
Okay, okay, all right.
She's my. I'm a claim. She's my sister-in-law.
Okay, I got to say.
All right, go ahead.
The whole
Go
thing I'm going to understand is, what I don't understand with black people is this. Now, Joe Biden, right? He is basically calling you everything but the N-word and whatnot. And y'all, Master Biden, forgives you. I can see all you people in the chat room with your handkerchiefs on your head and your bug-eyed and whatnot running to the poll. Yeah, Master Biden. You're so forgiving when it comes to white people. See, we did this show because I knew the Negro. You know, y'all so forgiving when it comes to white people. You know, Obama didn't do shit for you for 8 years. Oh, don't talk about Obama. You know, they talk down to black people all the time and whatnot. You know, oh man, this Obama. Oh, no. The Obamas, they didn't do shit for black people. Whatnot. You defend them. Joe Biden didn't do jack shit for black people. Whatnot. Wrote the crime bill. The reason why we're going through this right now is because of that crime bill. I saw that back in '94. I said, oh my God, right? That was a year before the Million Man March, right? The police marched on Washington. They had their a march on Washington before the Million Man March, right? And basically, the police was saying that we're handcuffed, we're all this stuff. The Democrats, right? The Democrats led the charge that we need to give the police all this power, right? Basically, give them immunity from federal prosecution, all this stuff like that. Leave all that in the hands of the local government. But completely took the idea that every time there's a police shooting or civil rights violation, the federal government rein in. They took that away. Why? Because the Democrats, like Joe Biden, was trying to hold on to the white vote that was fleeing to the Republican Party. That's what it's all about. When people say, Joe Biden, Obama picked Biden. Why did Obama pick Joe Biden? The only reason why Obama picked Biden because they knew he was a racist, right? And they knew he got those dog whistles to the white working class that Obama needed. You know, that's the only reason why he picked Joe Biden. You know, that's the white guy. You know what I'm saying? That's that white. Joe Biden's like, I'm your white friend. I'm the white guy in charge here. As long as there's a white guy involved, okay, you know, he's a nice black man and whatnot. He got Joe Biden, right? And so it's all racism on both sides of the aisle. Joe Biden is the white working class racist, you know, who don't like Republicans, you know, they're Democrats and everything. They don't like Republicans. They don't like big business. They always the same people that always talk about Wall Street. They always talk about Mexico and all stuff like that, you know. That's who Joe Biden represents, the white working class, you know, and everything. So that's what it is. But you will forgive him and everything. Why? Because he has a D next to his name, and you'll forgive him. But Sister Art Kathy, oh Lord, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could, you know, look, people right there, you got Wody Wire doing a 2-hour thing, you know, with African Superstar and all these other people. I don't know. I can't remember. It was late at night. I don't know who he had on it, but he had all the big time. Ooh, we gotta rein her in. East Love and Migrate. Wow, I gotta talk to you about this sister and everything. All these freaking fools and clowns out there and whatnot, you know. You know, I told Dynast I'm going to take shots at people. You know, I don't care. You know.
Let's keep it.
All right, let's go. Yeah, but the whole thing is this: if you don't say a damn thing about all the stuff that's going on, you're in Ghana. You don't see that they're building a U.S. military base, and you have nothing to say about it, right? You have nothing to say about anything else that's going on as far as like people get raped, killed, murdered, and everything. But the only thing you concerned about is this sister may have hurt your little feelings. You know. You know, that's why I said, you know, Negroes. You know, I have a PhD
in Negroes.
Negroology, you know. I have an undergraduate in Niggerism. You know, I know Negroes, you know. The bottom line is this. Anything that has to do with black people attacking other black people, you're all for it. When it comes down to white people and everything like that, right now, all the white people out there, they've hijacked the so-called Black Lives Movement, right? They basically seceded from Seattle, Washington, and the only reason why they're not getting killed is because they're white.
Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on, Colin. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because look, okay, we got to talk. That might be a whole separate show.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk.
So what's going on in Seattle? So they really got their own like little city in Seattle now.
They took the police department down, right, and they seized 6 square blocks, and it succeeded from Seattle. All
But
the
listen. But whatever we bring up, having a nation of our own. Oh, we can't. Oh no, we can't
no,
do.
you can't do
Oh,
that.
we can't do
You can't
that.
have. You can't have all I want is a simple municipalities, our own municipalities, so we can basically control ourselves and govern ourselves and contribute to whatever economy that we're in. You know, that's all. We can raise taxes, pay taxes to the local government, and do all that stuff like that, and basically build schools, build cultural centers, all the stuff like that, build trading society. It'll be a beautiful marriage between Black America and Africa. Whoa, oh, Kala. Are you talking about leaving the United States or whatever, something outside? No, you can't do that.
Well, not even in Africa. I'm just saying
Or
in
even
America.
in America,
They're doing it right now because I got to research this, but I saw like a news clip of it. So right now, Seattle, they got their own.
Yo, look, Dynast, I think I'm living in a twilight zone. I can't believe I go every time. Maybe I need to throw away my freaking Facebook and phone. The world is going freaking insane. You know, they actually did that. You know, they actually seized 6 square blocks and declared themselves independent. And the only reason why, right? Only reason why they're getting away with that, one, Seattle's real liberal, right? That would never happen here on the East Coast. You know, it'll never happen here on the East Coast, right? And it would never happen with Black folks. Remember Move in 1985, you know?
Right.
You'll never happen with Black folks, you know, because the bottom line is the only thing stopping a full-scale bloodbath and massacre is the fact that these are mostly white kids out there and everything. They're rioting now and everything. They're looting now, and they're basically
So like they got their own like. I gotta. When I get done with this, I'm gonna go. We're gonna take 2 calls. When I get done with this, I'm gonna go like really take a look at this.
Yeah, we
So
got to talk about this, man. We could get on Wednesday night early before I do my show. We could talk about it again, you know.
So they ran the cops out. So they keep the cops out.
Well, you know, it's like the cops that abandoned ship. You know, they surround the police. They abandoned the police station, right, which is at the heart of the 6 square blocks, right, a mall, office complex, or 6 square block, and they feel like they won.
So they got a mall and everything.
Yes, an outdoor mall, everything. You know.
Oh,
This
man.
is crazy. This is crazy. Who's coming on? Is there somebody coming on?
I mean, I sent the link out to some people. I'm just waiting for them to come on.
Come on,
Okay, here we
people.
go. Okay. Here we go. They got their own mall. They got the old mall, police station. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead. One respect.
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, and nice to meet you, Kala Genesis.
How you doing? Good to meet you too, bro.
Yeah. I'm a Nigerian, and given my knowledge of how Africa, you know, how we roll, I think the way you sound is a little bit. You are not taking into account how we perceive the way she sounded. And the respect is very important in Africa, and that is what something anyone that's been there will pick up on. And I actually found what she said and the way she came across to be offensive, downright offensive. If she had said something like that in Nigeria, she will be out. Because you have to, you see, it's one thing, you have to understand. If a family member says something to you,
let me say this, brother. So we got to understand. Okay, so we got to look at Nigeria and we got to look at Gambia. Okay, Nigeria is dominated. The economy is dominated by Nigerians. Okay, Nigerians have enough self-respect to not certain things that I see go on in other countries is not gonna fly in Nigeria. So therefore, a comment like that, there really would be no need for it to be made in Nigeria. But trust me, but the point I'm trying to make, okay, I've been to about 16 or 17 different African countries. I understand where R. Kathy's coming from because I've seen it and I've experienced it. So I get where she's coming from. But the comment wouldn't necessarily need, the comment really wouldn't necessarily need to be made like that in Nigeria, if that makes sense. But go ahead.
I get where you're coming from, and I've been to Gambia, and I've seen how they treat even Nigerians, and I actually felt I'm even West African. You're treating
oh, here we go. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Hold on. In fact, I've told this story one time. So I have I'm Nigerian. So Here we go. Here goes a prime example. So I understand somewhat where she's coming from. And if I had this issue in more countries than Gambia and Senegal, but when you have issues like this, then you go into the country and you see who's dominating the resources in the country. I understand why she'll snap like that. So I'm gonna give you a prime example. So I traveled from Tuba, Senegal, right, to Banjul by road. Well, of course, you got to catch the boat over. So I get to the Senegalese Gambian border, right? I'm at the Senegalese border. I go into the little office where they take a picture and stuff. The Senegalese border police, whatever you want to call it, passport control, whatever you want to call it. So I have a Nigerian passport. It's ECOWAS. I shouldn't have to pay anything to go to country, as long as they're ECOWAS. He was like, "You give me 5,000 SAFA now," and he puts his finger in my face. You don't understand how much I wanted to take his finger and snap it. So, and I'm like, "Sir, I have an ECOWAS passport. Why do I have to pay 5,000 SAFA? You pay now, or you go to Dakar. You go to Dakar, and you go to Banjul, buy from Dakar." And I'm just like, I mean, I don't get it. And I know for a fact they would not do that to a European. I know they wouldn't.
It happened to Warden Meyer. It happened to Warden Meyer.
Right. So then they were not about. They were about. In fact, he said, "Okay, you go back to Dakar." So he told me that I had to go back to Dakar, Senegal, which is like a 4-hour drive to get to Gambia when I'm like right at the border. So I go back. I calm down. I mean, I didn't do the same thing. I just go back. I just sit in the car. My friend was like, "Danny, you probably just got to go back to the car." So I'm like, "Okay, no, it's not going to happen." So I end up going back and they let me go. I go to the Gambian side. When they start pulling that "come see me in the back office," I know what time it is. So I go to the Gambian side. I'm in Gambian passport control. This is exactly what they told me. The Gambians, this is what they told me. They said they're trying to do the same thing. You got to pay. I'm like, hold on. I have an ECOWAS passport. I don't pay anything. They tell me the reason why you have to pay is because you're Nigerian and you have to pay because of the because this is back when the issues were going on in South Africa with the what's the word I want to use? The xenophobia in South Africa. So they're saying that this Gambian lied and told me that Nigerians were rising up in Gambia. I'm like, you're lying. Like, you're lying. And he's like, they have a limit on the number of Nigerians that could go into the Gambia. I promise, this is what he told me. This is what he told me. I told him there's a picture of the Gambia. Let me finish. There's a picture of the president of Gambia right in his office. I said, you go tell him to pay you. I'm not playing these games. And they let me go. So imagine going through stuff like that. Then you go into the country and you see Lebanese, Europeans dominating the economy in the country. You're going to snap. That's why I get where she's coming from. Now, her delivery might have been off, but I understand. Again, just traveling throughout Africa and seeing some of the stuff I've seen, I trust me. I understand why she's like that. I understand why someone was, especially if you're investing in the country, putting your own money up. I get it.
And you don't want to be made a fool out of for going in the first place. Because there's people always like, oh, you go in Africa, you're a fool, you're this, Africa, this, that. So you believe it, you put your heart and you believe in something, and that happens, of course you're gonna be angry, you know. It's like you don't want to have buyer's remorse or maybe look like be humiliated. Let me ask you something, one respect. Let me ask you, did you see that video where the Cameroonian lady was on and making a fool out of herself in DC? Talk about Black Lives Matter is a joke. Black people are just lazy. People are dying. Kids are dying every day in Chicago. There's millions of black kids in Chicago. But I guess we're all millions of us are dying. You know? She was saying black people are just lazy. They don't like that. I got a degree and I do all this. Oh, there's plenty of black people with education, degrees, everything. We got thriving black communities in America and everything. And so we got more millionaires and billionaires in America than ever before, Black America. And we got nice black communities. But she narrowed us down to black people and the problems in Chicago and these inner cities and everything, which we all are trying to solve and everything. and she said that we didn't have a right to protest because we have those same problems in the thing. In other words, it should be equal, even though the fact that we deal with black on black crime in our forums and stuff like that all the time. Now, she was being disrespectful to black Americans. And African, like that lady that played, a girl that played Harriet Tubman, she made comments about African Americans all the time, right?
Hey, Colin, you know the girl that played Harriet Tubman dumped her white boyfriend. Now she's with another woman.
Yeah. See, so all this nonsense, right? All this nonsense. Her and several other people make disrespectful comments, right? African immigrants make disrespectful comments, African Americans, and we forgive them. In the name of reconciliation, we forgive them, right? We don't get all upset. They talk a lot of African immigrants talk down to African Americans. Oh, y'all should be doing this. Y'all should be that. When you're living off the legacy of our ancestors, right? Because we the one who made America what it is. If it wasn't for us, there would be no black immigrants coming here doing anything what they're doing. So let me ask you a question. If you think that's offensive, why do you think African Americans have a right to be offended when Africans say things about us?
Oh, of course you have a right to be offended. See, let me just address what Dinah said. I did, I visited Ghana, that's Gambia, I mean, and I was there and they treated me somewhat similar. And I noticed that, they are quite, they feel a certain way about Nigerians. So that goes back a long way. So that is understandable. But yet I sit here and I still found her offensive. And I also say that from what you said about the Cameroonian lady saying offensive things about African American, I also understand why you are offended. It doesn't mean
I'm not offended. Hold up, I'm not offended personally because I know it's not talking to me and all the people I know. She can't be talking about me, my family, any black people that I know because we're not doing all this stuff. We're not shooting each other. We got jobs, we got careers, we own businesses and stuff like that. And I know a lot of decent black people who are poor and don't do anything like that, and they raise their families and everything like that. She just reduced us to a racist stereotype, Africans do that all the time. Don't even get to bother knowing us, right? But as soon as an African American says something about one of y'all, suddenly all hell breaks loose.
When I say you being offended, you didn't like the way she came across.
No, I mean, look. She said what she wanted to say, and she made a buffoon out of herself because she don't know what the hell she's talking about. Okay, I'm not offended. There's nothing she could say to me to offend me.
It really doesn't matter when you look at the bigger, the macro aspect of things. You have to take yourself out of it and look at the bigger picture. We all have the same agenda here.
Do the same thing? Can you do the same thing? If she says something about Nigeria right now, can you take yourself out of it and see the big thing that Nigeria has a lot of problems and everything like that, and maybe people say something?
If she was being disrespectful, she will get the treatment she deserves. If somebody, you can't have somebody come to your house and disrespect you and you say,
hey,
what? Thank you very much because you told me the truth.
Here and talk down to us all the time.
Well, it's not even that again.
That is wrong. And that is also wrong.
Okay, this is the issue again. I understand the whole you can't come to our house and be disrespectful. Okay, this is not an African. I don't want to make this an African versus African American. I don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that,
Again, the problem is when I see Indians, Lebanese, white folks being Chinese being overly disrespectful, and they might get a slap on the wrist. If even that's the problem. So
I think I misspoke there when I said when you come to my house. What I actually intended to say was, if you go to your dad's house and insult him, he's not going to welcome you there. He's going to he's going to sling you out.
Well, you guys do that hold up. I've seen Chinese and all these other people. Why don't you guys do the same thing to them? So until that happens, I don't want to hear that, bro.
It is because
disrespect. Hold up, white people own friggin' the oil wells in Nigeria. Nigeria is too scared to friggin' nationalize their own oil industry. Why don't we talk about that?
We all know why all this is happening.
You got every excuse when it comes to why you guys ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? But you want to check everything we say.
No, we are not checking everything you say. I just said what she said was not appropriate. She actually mocked Nigerians too, from Gambia. So it's not about whether this thing I'm kind of saying everybody is to be dismissed. All this in African American is to be dismissed. I'm just saying we all know why what is happening in Africa is happening. I agree with what she's saying.
Hold on.
That
And Africa is our mother continent. So therefore, I got Nigerian blood in me. I got Congo blood in me.
true.
If I say something like that, I'm gonna say it because I don't give a damn what anybody says. That's my
But
answer.
you're not going to insult your dad in his house and you're expecting to say thank you very much.
Well, hold on. It's not just your house.
Hold on. Okay, well okay. I understand where Kyle's coming from, but again, we're on respect, and we got to move to the next caller. Again, you're missing the point. Indians, Chinese, whites, Europeans have been coming up in daddy's house, peeing on the floor, taking a dump wherever they want to, going in the refrigerator, leaving the toilet seat up, not making up their bed, and like
we all know the historical reasons why that is happening.
Come on, man. We're not gonna use excuses for that. Come on now. No, we're not gonna make that.
Is that an excuse? Okay.
They got every excuse.
If you call that an excuse, then that is fine. But
one sister said one thing, they want to go to war. You ain't gonna go to war with my sister over there, bro. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You come from her, you come from me too. You know what I'm saying?
You have never been in a country that has lost a war.
Things about Nigerians say things about it. That's what family do. Don't act like you want all this high and mighty respect, and you can't even get the Europeans and the Arabs and Asians in your country in line.
Have you lived in a country that has lost a war? If a war comes to your country and you lose it, there are consequences.
Oh man, I can't. See, I can't. One respect, we gotta move. Thank you, one respect for calling in. Thank you so much, brother. We're going to the next caller. But see, it's just, Colin, this is the problem. When it comes to everyone else, they got the excuses. Well, it's colonialism. Is that?
And when it comes to Black America, oh, y'all should be doing this. Y'all should be doing this. Y'all should be doing this. Then when we say this, what about you? Oh, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? You're being disrespectful. This is Afro chic, these Afro chic Negroes. These are brainwashed Negroes.
Did you say Afro who?
Afro chic, Afro chic, these niggas, man, they'll say the bottom. I've been dealing with these type of niggas for years, All they are, I bet you think he was calling from Europe. Probably has a white girlfriend.
Hold on. Hey, one respect, where are you calling from? One respect, where are you calling from? Hello? Okay, go. Hold on. Crypto Black, go ahead, bro.
What's up, man?
Crypto,
Peace, man.
what's up, brother?
What's up, my brother? How you feeling, man?
Yeah,
what's up, Prince Dynast? Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem, brother.
Yeah, man. It's basically what y'all was saying.
Everybody keeps saying they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, man. Basically, what y'all was saying, man, is correct. The one thing is you're telling us to come home. African Americans, African diaspora, come home, invest, show up to do with the country.
Hold on. He said, Colin said Afro chic.
I'm telling you, you ever see these Negroes? They're really Black Frenchmen, Black British, they're everything. They come, they spend most of their time around whites and Europeans and everything and they act like they're so more African than we are and shit, that continent belongs to all of us. If I see something wrong, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a damn how you feel like it.
Yeah, so you invite people in, and you say, okay, listen, come home, show us what to do and how to get things better. Invest. If I'm gonna come and invest, I'm gonna critique as well. If I come into a business and I come to buy that business or buy into that business, I'm gonna say, well, look, your POS system is not working. This is not working. That's not working. We should do it like this. You can't say, oh hell no, we've been doing this. This is how we're gonna do it. We have to work together. You know what I'm saying? To get things a little bit better than what it is. And I just want to tell this story real quick. But when I was over there, I was in Senegal and I was and my layover was in Lomé. And exactly what Dynast was saying is true. We coming from when I was in Senegal, right before I left, the I guess you could say the customs guy or whatever at the airport, Chinese man argued with him, and he was like, no, you take your ass. He basically was telling him, like, you'll take your ass back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't come through the line. You know what I mean? So the Chinese man got mad. He pissed off. He got left. So I started laughing. He said, and then he told me, he said, every time, he said, the Frenchman and the Chinese men, they always got a problem. Always. He sent his ass back. I get over to my layover was inside in Lomé. I get over there in Lomé. you know, they tell you, oh, you got the blue sticker, the red sticker, the groups, different groups. You know what I'm saying? The you know, get on a plane
You flew
and
Ethiopian Airlines?
Ethiopian, yeah. So so I'm hearing her say blue sticker. I get up there, I'm like, oh, you got a blue sticker. She says, oh no, not yet. 4 white people walks up there with a damn blue sticker, and then they like, oh, did you call blue yet? Because I hear the same shit that they hear. Yeah, I called blue. And I said, yo, what the fuck, man? I said, yo, I just said this. You know what I'm saying? I said, I just came here. I had a blue thing. Oh, yeah, you can go now. You know what I'm saying? It's the corner. And like just what Dinah's just said. Yeah, and I haven't been in Nigeria yet, but I'll be there soon. When this shit open back up. And I'm from Jersey, so it's Nigerians everywhere out here. So I already know the attitude of Nigerians. You know what I'm saying? So the cooning has to stop. And you cannot tell people, you can't come on video on YouTube all the time and tell people, come home. I come home, you tell me, nah, I'm gonna treat you like a foreigner. But the other foreigners get to do whatever they want to do. You treat them like royalty.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. If I'm coming
home to be abused and whatnot, you know, to be dismissed and second guessed and everything like that, man. No, it don't work like that, you know. Again, we got to reintroduce ourselves. You know, they gotta see a side to us. You know what I'm saying? You want to deal with Black America, there's a side to us that you guys ain't gonna like, you know, and that it comes with the territory.
Yeah, we got different energy. We have a different energy about us because we constantly fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We dealing with different groups.
We're 400 years of freaking fighting for our lives in this country and whatnot. You know, we're not passive. We're not like that. That sister Art Carly, you know, that's his typical sister. That'll fucking lay into you and fucking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She's the type of person. Look, you know, look. You know, it's like
she'll cuss you out. She's the type of sister that gonna cuss your ass out.
Like she like nigga, please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that side of Black America needs to come out too. You know?
Yeah, that's
the
energy.
We can't be on the friggin' the Eddie Murphy Coming to America. You know, Prince Akeem shit. You know, don't work like that. You know, like that. You know, so it's like that. Hey, well, let me ask you a question, right? Now, all of us in the BAO, we deal with friggin' Africans all the time. We have no problem with the Africans we deal with, right?
Yeah.
The Africans with us, right? Conference with us. We're doing things. This stuff, it's these Afro chic Negroes. You know what I'm saying? That all they want to do is just cause division between Black America and Africans. More Africans, when we say stuff, they're like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, this, that, and the other thing. But it's family. You know, we're talking among family, you know? Like people say something like, hey, guys, do you get offended by what that sister said? No, I don't give a what that sister said. Because when she's Black and whatnot, she's entitled to her opinion. I don't give a damn about that, you know? But the whole thing is the same thing with Sister Arcady. You know, if you say stuff and everything, okay, it's among ourselves, right? What happens is enemies of Black people, right? The enemies of Black people will take that, right? And they forget this sister's a Black nationalist sister, you know what I'm saying? You know, she called a white man the devil, you know what I'm saying? She's in the Nation of Islam, all stuff like that. She's basically Black power, this and that. How you going to basically take a couple of words and create your own art capital? You know? Yeah. That's what I don't like.
But then, and then
listen to her video. That sister is Black to the 20th power.
She got videos. She got a ton of videos telling people to come to Gambia. This is why she chose Gambia over Ghana and all this other stuff. So you throw all that stuff out over 10 seconds. So you throw hours of content away over 10 seconds of what she said.
And meanwhile, all of us are smart enough to realize that. And I know a lot of fake people in the chat room. These are these people who don't want none of this to happen in the place. They're trying to destroy this movement and everything from the get-go. They're not here being generous. They don't love Africa. They don't care about that. Because if they loved Africa, the first thing they were saying, what the hell you mean a freaking grown old white man got a little 3-year-old girl? That's what they should be mad about first.
Yeah. And that's what's important. That's what's important.
You know? Somebody said she sounds like an agent, you know?
Oh, here we go, man. Here we go.
So you would make me moderator because I get rid of some of these people. Somebody mute this nigga, man.
Here we go.
Moderators.
I mean, Kala. All it takes, if you have a Facebook group and someone disagrees with you, you're an agent. Like everybody just see this whole agent. This is the thing. This whole agent talk, right? It minimizes the work that Dr. King, Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, people who are really infiltrated Now everybody wants, everybody swears their movement is agent worthy. It's like, man, come on, stop.
All they have to do is say, "Yo, Carl, look, man, I've been called agent so many times and whatnot, but yet I'm still here. I'm still thriving. My product and my brand is growing. My reach is growing. So evidently, I'm doing something right. I can't. My inbox, people asking me questions from all over the world, stays lit all day. I'm waking me up out of my sleep. Bing, 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 bing. Colin, what do you think about this? Colin, what do you think about that? Colin, I gotta have your. So if I'm an agent, I'm a very poor agent. I'm a very bad agent,
Yeah, but Crypto, brother, we appreciate you coming on, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Are you gonna be in the conference later, brother?
Yeah. I'm gonna make some shrimp and rice real quick. I'll be on it.
Yeah, man. That's another topic, man. Everybody ain't agent worthy, man. I mean, God said you got a YouTube, you got a Facebook page, or someone disagrees with you, they're an agent. Like everybody ain't agent worthy, man.
If I was an agent, what the hell would I be showing my face and up on here? What would I be showing my face? Come on, folks. Be freaking for real, college agent. I should know. Remember that?
And not even that. We'll get Mike. You coming on next, and then not only that, people have you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you're worried about agents, why are you on Facebook? That's the most agent surveillance stuff. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Mike, go ahead, bro.
Remember that time?
Almost, bro. What's up, man?
Hold on,
What's up, Mike? Go ahead, bro.
You and I were agents of Africa we were actually African immigrants trying to trick African Americans out of their rightful place of Turtle Island, America.
Turtle Island.
Go back to Africa. We're both agents of a force trying to trick black people in America to convince us that we're Africans to send them back to Africa and whatnot. We're agents. White man's paying us to get black people to leave America.
Go ahead, Mike.
What's up, bro? I know you.
Hey, Dennis, what's up, man? Kala, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Man, I really appreciate you doing this show, man. I appreciate this topic, man. And first of all, I gotta apologize for that clown. I don't want to insult, man. The Nigerian or wherever it was, they just called in a sensitive ass clown. Like, that's the problem of black people, man. We are too sensitive, dude. Like, we have to first of all accept that we're in this mental state. That's in a state of emergency, for real. Like, the kind of shit that shit that goes on in the continent, dude. Like, dude, Dennis, I told you in the past, without the diaspora, dude, this is what I see that made me say without the diaspora, Africa's fucked. Because you guys are the only people that can come to the continent and see what white people do and like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you guys have memory of what these people have done to you for 400 years. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they treat you in the West. And for you to come there and see them do those things, that shit would drive you crazy. Like every time oh my God. Many Nigerians that woke up, if it wasn't Fela Kuti, they were singing about this shit. Like if it wasn't Fela Kuti, someone like me probably still be thinking like that. Like seeing this
no gay enemy.
Yeah, like dude, that lady, Dennis, man, we need 1 million diasporans in Africa that can express what that lady did. Like, whatever the hell she was rude, okay. Dude, that's not what's important right now, dude. We're in a state of emergency, mental state of emergency. That when I saw a video, dude, I was so happy, dude. Like, oh yeah, this is what the hell we need. We need the diaspora to come over here and see the fucked up shit that's going on and just fucking put it out, man. Like, call the Africans out. Because if no one is calling that shit out, first thing first, for you to solve a problem, you have to address it first.
Yeah.
It's a big problem on the continent, dude. Like, Dennis, you not travel all the time. You travel around. When you get to a European airport, you get to American airport, or even Asian airport, like China, all those places. What do they do over there? They treat their own citizens with first class. And then everybody else, they give you a last class treatment.
Right.
Especially when you're black. Especially when you're black, you're black, you step in the airport in Europe, China, or even United States. They don't give if you're a black person. But when you go to African airports, they'll treat these Europeans and these Asians with first class and treat a black person with a second class, last class. All these things was been frustrating me for years. That's why I keep saying, like, listen, man, these Africans don't really understand white people. Like, they don't, like, their mentality is just so docile. Like, and that shit frustrates me a lot. So when I see, that's why I always say, dude, man, only the diaspora can come over here and see something wrong with what's going on around here, you know? So the Nigerian dudes, the bottom line, I think black people globally, we at a point where we need to understand that. Listen, man, it's time to take criticism, dude. Like your fellow black person is criticizing
Right.
you. Just listen to it, dude. I don't think a group of black person that's criticizing another group of black person is
Right.
coming from a place of
Let me
hatred.
give you an example. Mike basically has a critique of Black America, right? I don't agree with everything he says, but he has.
If I hate Black American, there's no way I would be criticizing you. It's kind of like somebody comes to your restaurant.
The fact that he's involved and has a thing to say that, I appreciate that, you know. So therefore, I'm thick skin enough to be like, okay, yeah, that's what he sees. Okay, he's wrong here, he's right about this. Just a bit, as he has a right to say what he says. You know, that this sister had a right to critique what she saw. You know, we got this idea that, you know, that you cannot say something about somebody. This is about freedom of speech and everything. That sister has a right to say what you want to say. If you don't like what you say, you turn off her channel.
It's kind of like, it's like this. It's like somebody come to your restaurant, right? And you're the owner of the restaurant. And the person come up to you and say, listen, man, there was a lot of salt in your food. Because your employees in the kitchen have been putting too much salt in your food. And then you get angry. Like, how did you criticize my restaurant? Dude, that's a good customer. You need more customers like that, because if your customer don't tell you what if you're wrong about your food, then you're not ready to make money. You're not ready to succeed. If you can accept criticism, then you're not ready to progress. You're not ready to succeed. You're not ready to progress in life. If you cannot process criticism, and you're not ready to progress.
We need to know everything. Well,
You have to know everything, exactly. So that lady, when I saw a video, I'm like, this is cool. Then I saw some Africans being sensitive. I'm like, you guys are you that weak that you can't even, someone foreign came to your place and felt certain way, and you don't want a person to express how she feels? Come on now. Are you that weak?
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I think it is, Mike? I think that there's a lot of fake so-called African Americans, right? These pseudo Negroes and these like that, who are basically going to Africa and they think Africans are weak. A lot of Africans are looking and say, okay, I hear what you say, but like that, you know. But they're basically projecting their own weaknesses on Africans, you know. I haven't really heard a lot of Africans complain. It's mostly so-called African Americans, and I know where this comes from. It's just basically the fact that she's a woman. There's some brothers that told me that. They said, well, Africans are used to women being loud like that, and
man, bullshit. That's excuses, man. Excuses. Go to Nigeria, man. Like women are loud as fuck. All that shit is excuses. Black people like to give excuses. That's the problem. The thing is this, man. We are so weak that the reality is this, man. If somebody is telling you something, listen and analyze what they are saying. Pay attention and look at what's very important about what they're saying. Especially, the one thing about me is this: if somebody is criticizing me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like if I look at what that person is saying, if I can find the truth inside of that thing, maybe I'm not something I wasn't seeing, I'll hug that person like, dude, man, you're being honest. Because if you hate me, there's no way you would tell me. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way someone that hates you is never going to tell you what is wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's never going to tell you what is wrong with you.
Around you for years and not tell you about themselves, and then did it until it gets too late, and they reveal themselves, you know, before it's too late.
When it's too late, exactly. And I have a lot of Black American friends too that I would sit them down like, dude, this thing is wrong, dude. This thing that's going on here, and they would think I'm just insulting them or I'm like, dude, there's no way. If I hate black, if I'm like Chinese or white person, I won't give a shit about what's going on in your community, like, because it doesn't affect me, you know.
Right.
But you guys are my people, dude. I can't keep quiet.
And like
just watch this kind of thing go on.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So if that lady would have gone to Africa and see all those crazy things,
this old saying, we say, "Fuck your feelings," you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, look, this is what I'm saying. Let me say this: you don't come out of 400, almost 500 years of the worst degradation in the history of man, and when you're trying to come out of it, everything is going to be peaches and creams and roses and petals. You know, there's going to be conflict. You know, there's going to be more trials and tribulations. We haven't seen the worst of it yet.
That's the process, man.
It's a process. You know, we're trying to transition into the building this infrastructure of Black Africans, Black people, African Americans, and infrastructure globally where we all benefit. There's going to be bumps in the roads. There's going to be insult. If we can't get along with a little insult, right? Well, how are we going to do business together?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? How we can't get, I got to watch what I say. Those type of people, get rid of them.
Now you're not ready. You're not ready for success, man. If you're not ready for success,
those
if you're
never did anything complicated in life.
It's like you look at the state of black people globally. It's like, God damn, man, we shouldn't be here, man. We're way like light years behind everybody else. We're light year behind the Asians, the Chinese, the whites. And then what we complaining about is what somebody says, how somebody's talking. Come on, man. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's an excuse. That's an excuse to basically prolong the whole, oh, we can't do this. And this is, maybe we should just forget about the whole thing. It's not going to stop, folks. I told you guys 2 years ago, when I first got on here, this ain't going to stop. You know, and I said, like, this is destined to happen, you know.
That's what I call low self-esteem. Black people globally, we're suffering from low self-esteem. Because we're the only people. Very low self-esteem, man, you know.
Like I said, I take
Mike, brother, we appreciate you coming on. Let me get this last caller so we can close.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Dennis, man. Thank you, man. Yeah.
All right, Black Star, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Dynas, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, Dynas, Genesis, everyone, good to see you. Thanks for having me on your show, Dynas. So I have been listening in on the conversation, and I'm originally from Ghana. I'm currently in New York City, but I'm originally from Ghana, and I've been here for quite a while. Look, you guys are right. Dynas, you are right. Genesis, you are correct. Africans, we have a certain disease in our minds. You know, I don't know how exactly it got in there, but it's there. And the disease is that we have a tendency of deferring to anyone who is light-skinned. Whites, Indians, Lebanese, you know, it's something with the culture. We like to be hospitable to
the white Jesus.
Well, I don't know but that might be an issue too. We have this thing in the culture where we like to be hospitable. And but unfortunately, when it comes to whites and you know, Lebanese and other people, especially people who are light-skinned or white-skinned, we have this disease where we are overly deferring to them, you know, where we kind of put them on the pedestal. That is true, and you guys have observed it, and you know, you are correct in pointing that out. Now, you know, you African Americans are just starting to go to Africa when all these people have already been there. So, you know, the Africans are, you know, kind of used to them in a way that they are not used to you just yet. I watched that video from that lady, and she means well. You know, she pointed out a lot of truths about the African psyche. You know, the way that she comes across, you know, the African cultural mindset really despises that kind of attitude. You know, if you come across with that chip on your shoulder, if you come across, you know, that insensitive, even if what you're saying is true, the African psyche isn't going to grasp it. They're not going to accept it. You know, and that is something I think African Americans who want to be on the continent need to keep in mind. We don't have the same breadth and scope that you guys have when it comes to dealing with white supremacists. The folks on the continent, they don't know what they don't know. And it's up to you guys coming over to build bridges and educate them, right? To help them to put aside the shackle that is on their minds, to put it aside. You see, if I were advising that lady, I would advise her to have some kind of a club, you know, form some kind of a club where you build relationships with the gang.
I think let me say.
Brother, this is where I gotta stop you. Bro.
Yeah,
I've been going back and forth. I've been going back and forth to the continent since 2011.
Yeah,
I've heard Africans make some very disparaging statements about each other. That's why this whole, you know, that's not our culture and all that.
Also,
okay, I'll give you a prime example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. When I was in Tanzania, right, in Zanzibar, I was talking to this girl, and I told her that I was going to go visit. I was going to Arusha to spend time with the Maasai tribe. You don't know what she said? She said, "Oh my God, you're gonna go spend time with them? They are animals." You don't understand the amount of times that, because I'm part Yoruba, I'm part Mende. I'm into African spirituality. You don't understand how many times Africans, right, have called me a Yoruba demon or all types of names, have called their own religion, their own African spirituality, devil worship, and all types of stuff as far as your name. So I hear what I'm trying. I kind of hear what you're saying, but I don't.
Guys,
I
let
hear.
me ask you a question, right? Now, in Asia, right? This is the thing. This is all I want everyone to focus on.
If I can't finish my
Hold
train of
on,
thought here,
bro. Let me say this. I got your point, right? Let me say this, right?
yeah.
China and Japan, right? Do you know how much blood there is between China and Japan? The first Sino, second Sino war, Japanese war, right? The Japanese invasion of Manchuria, the Japanese bombing of Nanking, all this stuff. Millions of Chinese, the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong, Taiwan, and all these other places right there. But guess what? Guess what? China and Japan, right? Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea and mainland China, right? Guess how much trade goes on between those countries? Almost $1 trillion.
Well, that's because they've established a relationship.
No, what I'm saying is this though. The bottom line is this: there's blood between those people. There's no blood between except for you talking about if you want to bring that title argument about the slave trade being African's fault, which we don't do, right? The thing is, if a little comment could trigger people like this, there's something else going on. When I see the fact that whites, everybody else abuse Africans on the level they at. White people, Africans always defend America, right? Even though I appreciate the Black Lives Matter protests and everything, but the African immigrant will tell you, oh, there's nothing wrong fundamentally with America. And the bottom line is like the African sister that was in D.C. There's no racist. I got a job. People are just lazy and everything. They don't know that systematically they basically industrialize America deliberately to cripple the black working class. They don't know about NAFTA. They don't know about globalism, shipping shit to China and everything. The Africans don't see that. The fact that we never got minorities set aside that with the white women and everything. They never, the American government never did a damn thing for black America. We basically survived on our own. And we still basically like now, what we see now is we have a lot of immigrants coming here, and we feel like we're being replaced by immigrants coming in and stuff like that. And there's no incident of African Americans attacking Africans in America. No incident whatsoever. There's no xenophobia like there is in South Africa. If Amir Diallo was killed in New York in a hell of 44 bullets, who was the group of people that defended him and his family? It was African Americans. We defend everybody that come here. If you're black, we defend you. But yet, the bottom line is, if some sister said something and then you get triggered by a little comment, where's the love? I thought we were one people. And Nigerians say something that might be. They talk about us all the time. I'm like, oh, this is my Nigerian.
Well, that's what I was trying to explain to you, that the continental Africans don't know you as well. They're just starting to know you. So it's up to you to find out a way of building bridges to them so you can communicate.
And also,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't even blame the Africans, right? I blame these so-called African American ass kissers, ass munchers, of Africans. When you're not helping Africans at all, because all you do is furthering a rift. We should be able to say stuff about each other and say, okay, I don't like this, but yeah, I understand what it says. I see her end game. I know where her end game. I know where she's going with this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People just gonna dismiss everything she's doing, right, over a comment. But yet they got so much patience with the Lebanese, the Chinese. Also, every time you look around, there's a Lebanese that bailed out of jail because he raped some underage African woman, and he paid the right official off, and he gets shipped, take a flight back to Lebanon. But we're not supposed to say anything about that, Everybody's, when it comes to other people, it's all forgiveness, and they actually abuse and kill Africans and rob and rape the continent as we speak. Smuggle illegal goods, whatever, tracking in prostitution and human trafficking. But that doesn't matter. We're only upset because a sister tone was a little harsh. You don't know what she's going through in Gambia. She might be angry about something that happened to her. I think she was really shaken about that incident that happened. You know, that incident happened, and how the average Gambian didn't even care that an old white devil, had a 3-year-old girl in his possession. That seemed to me.
And that's weird, man. That's so weird. Like you don't even see. Okay, listen, brother. You don't see stuff like that in America. It's odd. Why does these old like I was watching this? In fact, you're from Ghana, so there was this. I think she was Ghanaian or she was from Togo, and so I think there was a practice of, I guess, if like the mom owed a debt or something, where she would sell the daughter to her uncle or to somebody else. I forgot the name of it.
It's a pawn system. We call it pawn.
It was something I forgot. And so she went through this, but an old single white guy adopted her and brought her to America.
I know the story you're referring to. I've seen
I just think that's odd. Like, I mean, it's just, to me, it's weird. So when you're in Gambia and you see old white men just walking around with little black girls, that's weird. Because I'm telling you right now, here in America, right, if my black bottom was walking around with a young 3-year-old white girl holding hands, that will raise eyebrows. But for some reason, Cat Day is being demonized for calling that out. Like, it's weird. And I'm talking about, these are old, like hold on, Colin. These are like old 60-year-old and 70-year-old white men walking around with little black children. It's weird.
Hey, Diane, let me say something, right? Miss Audrey, whatever her name is, OG, Nola, whatever. She says no pedophiles in America. Yeah, there's pedophiles in America. But guess what happens? They get caught, right? And they do it. I see one case where a guy got 1,000 years. A pedophile got 1,000 years. In Africa and many of these poor countries, the Philippines and everything, they do it with impunity. It's part of the culture. It's not a part of culture. Pedophilia exists all over the world. But the difference is people get caught. You know what I'm saying? And even now, I think it's in Texas, Alabama, they're castrating. I think it's Texas, Alabama, they're chemically castrating pedophiles. That's the difference about here. It's, you're defending America. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you what it is. In this country, it's not tolerated, you know? And that's what we're talking about. You know?
All right, go ahead, Black Star. Go ahead and close it out.
Right. So what I'm trying to focus on is how you can connect with the Africans and help them to change their mindset.
Well, but I've been doing that. That's what we do here. That's what we do.
So have I. You know, I got so many.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
Okay, great. Then that's what needs to happen. That's what that lady needs to do in Gambia. You know, form relationships with the Gambians. You know, if you want to have some kind of Saturday night movie night, and you know, where you show them African American history and how it all connects with the continent, you go ahead and do that. You know, let people express their thoughts. Teach them what you guys have been through, what you guys have experienced with white supremacists in America, and slowly they would wake up and they would see that, you know, we are all one and the same people. Our experiences are similar. I mean, we're all fighting the same system of white supremacy, and you know, and that's how you win them over to your side. By the way that she did it, that's not gonna win her any points in the Gambia. That's what I'm trying to point out. You know.
Yeah, we get that. Maybe it's a cultural thing and everything, but you know. The bottom line is the end game is this: the Gambians have to make a choice. Would you want more of her over there, or do you want more white people, Lebanese, Russians?
You gotta let them know that they want you, because they don't know what you know. Right? They don't have the breadth and the scope of.
I think a lot of, they got social media. I think they know.
How many of them have internet access the way that I have?
Okay, hold on, brother. Every African, I don't care how poor they are, has a cell phone.
And they all
They have data. Trust me. I listen. This is my thing. And then also too, if this is the problem I have when it comes to the conversation we're having. They have access to 50 Cent, Tupac, you know, all this other stuff. But then we want to make excuses why they don't know what Kyla was bringing up.
Yeah.
Well, they have access to that because for a long time, those music have been brought into the nation. I remember listening to many African American songs whilst I was back in Ghana in my teenage years. For a long time, people have been selling that stuff. So that was easily available on CD. And was played over the radio. Okay, but this kind of content you don't have it if you are not in the middle class in Africa. Okay, your smartphone, you gotta have a smartphone, you gotta have a good data plan, which is not expensive. If you're not in the middle class, you can't afford these two things. They have phones, but these phones, they make calls and do other simple stuff. It's not the smartphone that you and I use.
Nah, they be doing everything on their phone, bro. I've seen it. Now maybe back. I would say this. I would say this. Back when I was first going after like 2011 through like 2000 and
I didn't have a smartphone until 2013.
Yeah, to like 2014. Yeah, they had the little phones, but now they all got smartphones now. Trust me, they all got some type of smartphone now.
No, not in the Gambia. You're talking about Nigeria.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I've been again, but brother, we appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. We appreciate you coming on, Kala. Go ahead.
Having me, guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. After Superstar, thank you coming on. Thank you. Thanks for the conversation. Okay, yeah, you can check me out Wednesday. You can see the sticker here, Gangster Radio. We had a really good show last week. I don't know what the topic will be weekend. We was really talking about what's going on. Same thing we were talking about tonight and everything like that before this story broke and everything. But we were basically talking about, is Africa our motherland or the mother whore? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to reclaim our continent? We're going to kick all these people out that mean us no harm and everything. Africa is going to be the future. And also, we got to make a choice. We're going to build America. We're going to become Black Power Americans and follow Cornel West to our destruction and change. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what it's coming down to. Either we're going to be Negroes in America and talk about we're going to force ourselves into white man's beds. Their whole that's what the end game is. Black Lives Matter, long live the BBC, and all stuff like that. That's what we have, right? Or basically, are we going to start finally taking this nationalist movement very, very seriously and supporting people that's on the ground, like our sister Art Kathy, you know what I'm saying? On the ground, all the people is on the ground. And also, I want to know something. Why is it that when somebody seems like they're doing well on the African continent, nobody talks about them? We had an African American group, investors, just invested $350 million in Uganda. Not a word on social media.
All right.
Not a word on social media.
Okay, let's go ahead and close out because I got to.
All right, but thanks for everybody for tuning in to Dynasty 9 and whatnot. And thanks to Dynasty for having me again. See me on Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, Gangsterville Radio, Call Nation Radio. So.
All right, peace. Everyone. I apologize about that. Everyone, thank you so much. Yeah. At 10 o'clock, I'm ready to check out.
Oh,
yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Lou Major, we got to do another show because I got to check out.
Lou, what's up, Lou?
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Go to Amazon, buy a book. Go buy a shirt. Okay, go the shirts, the clothing. You will see it on the site under the video. Also go to Teespring, Amir, ILEAMIR. Buy a shirt, plenty of shirts on there.
I'm a Care Bar member.
Oh yeah, Care Bars. Colin is signed up, y'all. So everyone, thank you so much for joining.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'll just listen.
We're gonna coffee. We got you.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm so busy. Okay, just take care of me, guys.
All right, we got you. Until next time, family. Peace.
All right, brother. Peace.